Medieval architecture, building a castle from scratch. The vision takes shape. The Lord's desire. In medieval society, feudalism was the governing structure where land was exchanged for military service. At the heart of this system was the lord, who held significant power and responsibilities. The lord's need for a fortified residence emerged from the constant threat of invasions and internal conflicts. Castles served not only as military strongholds but also as symbols of power and control, ensuring the lord's dominance over their vassals and the surrounding territory. Choosing the location. The location of a castle was a critical decision that determined its effectiveness and longevity. Strategically, castles were often built on elevated terrain to provide a defensive advantage and a clear view of the surroundings. Access to resources such as water, timber, and stone was essential for construction and sustainability. Moreover, proximity to trade routes ensured economic prosperity and control over commerce, further strengthening the lord's influence. Planning the layout. Medieval castles typically followed a standard layout that maximized defense and functionality. The keep, the castle's central stronghold, was the last line of defense and housed the lord and their family. Surrounding the keep was the bailey, an enclosed courtyard that contained living quarters, workshops, and storerooms. The outer walls, often fortified with towers and gates, provided the first line of defense against attackers. This layout ensured a balance between security and daily living activities. Gathering the resources. Sourcing materials. Building a castle required a vast array of materials, each serving a unique purpose. Stone, the primary material, was sourced from local quarries and transported to the construction site. Timber, used for scaffolding and interior structures, was harvested from nearby forests. Mortar, essential for binding stones, was made from lime and sand. Iron was used for tools, weapons, and reinforcing structures. The procurement and transport of these materials were complex processes that demanded meticulous planning and coordination. A labor of many hands. The construction of a castle was a monumental task that required a diverse workforce. Skilled masons shaped and laid stones, while carpenters crafted wooden structures and scaffolding. Laborers carried materials and performed manual tasks, supported by farmers who provided food and resources. The social hierarchy was evident, with master craftsmen overseeing the work and managing apprentices and workers. Despite harsh working conditions, the collective effort of these individuals brought the Lord's vision to life. The power of innovation. Medieval builders were known for their ingenuity and innovative techniques. Scaffolding allowed workers to reach great heights safely, while cranes facilitated the lifting of heavy stones. Siege engines, initially designed for warfare, were adapted for construction purposes. These innovations not only advanced the construction process but also showcased the creativity and problem-solving abilities of medieval architects and engineers. Building a castle from scratch was a testament to the vision, planning, and hard work of medieval society. From the lord's desire for a fortified residence to the strategic location, layout planning, resource gathering, and innovative construction techniques, each step reflected the complexity and grandeur of medieval architecture. Building medieval castles. Foundation construction, citadel fortification, and the legacy of stone. Building the foundation. Digging the trenches. Moats were essential features in medieval castle defense systems. They served multiple purposes, slowing down attackers, preventing tunneling, and acting as barriers to siege engines. Excavating the ground for moats was a laborious process that involved digging deep trenches around the castle's perimeter. The construction of moats required careful planning to ensure they were deep and wide enough to be effective. Workers used shovels and picks to remove soil, and the excavated earth was often reused to strengthen other defensive structures. Laying the first stones. The foundation stones of a castle were laid with great precision to ensure the stability and durability of the structure. Masons carefully positioned large, flat stones in trenches, ensuring each stone was level and securely placed. Mortar made from lime and sand was applied between stones to bind them together. The process emphasized attention to detail, as the foundation had to support the weight of the towering walls and structures above. Constructing the walls. Building castle walls required advanced masonry techniques such as dry stone construction and rubble masonry. Dry stone construction involved stacking stones without mortar, relying on the precise fitting of each stone to create stability. Rubble masonry used smaller stones and mortar to fill gaps and provide additional reinforcement. Despite the limited tools available, medieval builders overcame challenges by leveraging their expertise and ingenuity, constructing large and formidable walls that could withstand attacks and natural elements. Fortifying the citadel. Towers of strength. Towers were integral components of medieval castles, serving various functions such as surveillance, defense, and entry control. Watchtowers provided vantage points for guards to monitor the surrounding area, while gatehouses protected the main entrance. Flanking towers were positioned along the walls to enable crossfire against attackers. The construction of towers involved techniques like layering stones for strength and using scaffolding to reach higher elevations. Creating defenses. Defensive elements like arrow slits, machicolations, and portcullises were crucial in fortifying castles. Arrow slits allowed archers to shoot at attackers while remaining protected. Machicolations were openings in the parapets through which defenders could drop projectiles on besiegers. Portcullises were heavy, iron gates that could be lowered to block entrances during attacks. These features showcased the strategic and architectural ingenuity of medieval builders. The keeper's heart. The keep was the heart of the castle, serving as the lord's residence and the ultimate stronghold during sieges. It symbolized power and authority and provided a secure refuge. The construction of the keep involved using the best materials and techniques to ensure it was impregnable. Its walls were thicker and higher than other parts of the castle, and it housed essential resources such as food, water, and weapons. A legacy of stone. The castle's purpose. Beyond defense, medieval castles had various functions including administration, community gatherings, and temporary housing for visiting nobles. They were centers of governance where lords managed their lands and resolved disputes. Castles also hosted feasts and celebrations, reinforcing the social hierarchy and fostering community bonds. Challenges and triumphs. Building medieval castles was fraught with difficulties such as harsh weather conditions, disease outbreaks, and potential enemy attacks. Despite these challenges, the perseverance and engineering prowess of medieval builders led to the completion of these remarkable structures. The castles stood as testaments to human ingenuity and resilience. Living in the castle. Daily life within castle walls was a blend of routine and vigilance. Living quarters, kitchens, and storerooms were essential for maintaining the inhabitants' well-being. The constant maintenance of defenses, including repairing walls and cleaning moats, ensured the castle remained secure. Life in a castle was demanding but also provided a sense of safety and community. Building medieval castles from scratch was a monumental achievement. Each step, from laying foundation stones to fortifying the citadel, reflected the vision, skill, and dedication of medieval society. The legacy of these stone fortresses continues to inspire awe and admiration for the ingenuity of their creators. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and please subscribe, as that will help us get more videos out to those interested in the Middle Ages. See you next time on Medieval Chronicles 1066. Stay curious.